Hey guys, it's Frank the Tank, and welcome to week number 13 of League. It's finally here. This is because of what I've been saying last week. This is a week that is basically like one to look forward to. If you didn't see last week, well, then allow me to bring you up to speed. I mentioned that we were going to be going up against the toughest team in this league. But obviously, that's not really what matters here. Is that's not usually what I talk about. Because usually when you guys watch this stuff, it's basically to see how my performance, my performance in league, and yeah, that's really all that is to it. But yeah, the main thing that I brought up was that I was going to be facing a certain somebody. And that certain someone was someone by the name of Gary Gardner Jr. I talked about him plenty of times throughout my videos. He's a fantastic bowler. He bowls the traditional way, one hand with the thumb, very high backswing. He's got a fantastic game. Trust me, when you guys take a look at this guy, you will be entertained. He is so good. Right now, he technically has the highest average in the league. Before this week, but the start of week 13, he has a 207. But after this, I don't know what he has. I haven't done the math. But yeah, finally, we're facing his team, and you guys get to see how I stack up against him. And I will say that this might serve kind of as a little bit of a spoiler alert, depending on how you look at it. I don't know. I do want to apologize beforehand because although I will say that I did not promise anything, I felt like I talked about this battle between me and him on this week of League. I felt like I really hyped it up to be some kind of battle of epic proportions. And honestly, that's not what it turned out to be. I hate sounding like I'm making excuses, but the lanes were tough, and that prevented us from going strike, 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 strike. And so you're gonna see what happened. So I just want to apologize beforehand if that's what you guys were expecting. The complete opposite ended up happening between us, and usually when I end up performing badly, I usually think that it's just me, having an off day, or, I'm just playing like garbage. But the fact that even he struggled, and keep in mind, I know for a fact that he is pound for pound a better bowler than I am. But the fact that even he was struggling told me that the lanes were tough. So, yeah. That's really all I wanted to get out there. So I guess there's not very much else to say. So I guess let's roll the clip and see what happened between he and I. Okay, you guys, here we go. The battle between Gary and I, even though technically it's not a battle, and he has no idea that I'm calling it a battle. We just went there and we did our thing. So I didn't want to tell him that. But yeah, here we go. And but yeah, here he goes on the right lane, starting things off. And of course, I got his score on there so you guys know how he did as well. But check out this fantastic game. Look at this. Beautiful. Is that not awesome or what? Like you could you can just watch him bowl all day and you'll be entertained. That is an incredible approach. So anyway, ball didn't really look like it. I don't even know how to explain what just happened. I'm just mesmerized by what I saw. But there I went on the left lane. Unfortunately, he got in the way there. But I struck. He left the 10 pin, and I don't know what he was using. It looked like a defender, and then of course he uses a purple pearl urethane to pick up his spares. Real nice. So yeah, he's got way more power than me, that's for sure. He's got more revs too, and that's kind of embarrassing. I mean, when you're a two-hander, you automatically have that, advantage of like with the rev rate and the power, right? Because two hands. With me, it's that's not the case, and that's because of my. I guess I just haven't practiced letting go of the ball the way a two-hander should. You know, like really cupping the wrist and getting underneath the ball. I don't do it that way. And I think that maybe I should, but you know, at the same time, you know, you gotta think like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I mean, it looks fine the way I'm going. I mean, scores still come out all right, but anyway, the one thing that I forgot to talk about was my league arsenal. So I wanted to be fully prepared here because I had no idea what I was walking into. Now, normally I walk in with 3 bowling balls and a spare, so 4. But this time I decided to kind of go all out. So yeah, you guys saw there, I packed a nuclear cell, a dark code with the new layout on it. I no longer have the 85 by 4 and a quarter by 51 because it's just not working on this new house shot. It's not picking up anymore like it used to. And I mean, even when I sanded it down to 2000, it still didn't work. But anyway, yeah, I have another dark code now with what I would consider to be layout that has more continuation on it. It's a little softer around the corner, but I put 60 by 4 by 30 on this dark code, and it is much better than my old one. Yeah, I have the nuclear cell, the zero gravity, because of how good it did the last time I had it. I think I got 685, and then the IQ Tour, of course, I had to pack that after the 675 that I got on 1 and 2. And oh, urethane always got to be in the bag. So yeah, basically, I know a lot of you out there are against having so many bowling balls, but you know, I only bring that like 5 at the most, 5 strike balls. But I know for a fact that I probably will only end up using 1 or 2 of them because again, this is only a house shot. It's nothing tricky. But you know, at the same time, you do want to be prepared. But and then especially because this is who I was going up against, I wanted to be ready. I was ready for war, man. But anyway, here goes Gary on the left lane. And my tactic going into this was, look at that, incredible. What power, huh? But anyway, yeah, my tactic going into this was the nuclear cell lining up on 22 because out of everything that I tried in the 10 minutes of practice, the nuclear cell was the one that worked the best for me. So it was the one that I felt I could execute the easiest with, and there I went. And I messed up at the foul line, and I just went blank in the middle of my approach, and then I got left of it, and I ended up with the split in the second, and the fall off balance definitely contributed to that horrible shot. So do I pick it up, or is it an open? Oh yeah, pick it up. Still clean, we're still good. So I can tell you, for one thing, with these lanes, there was no hold if I missed left. And then, yeah, see, there was no hold. And the window, the in-between, as we call it, was very, very small on this pair. I don't know why, but it just was. And then, based on what was happening to Gary, there was the bowling balls were just not hooking. It was really strange. But here he goes. And things were working out pretty nicely for him so far. Meanwhile, there I went missing left again. And I now have strike 6 spare 9 spare. Alright, so here I go back on the right lane. Still sticking with the same plan. Hoping that I don't go left again, but unfortunately, I go left again. And luckily I fought off a split. So yeah, unfortunately for me, I did not get the ball outright enough 3 times in a row. I kept telling myself, like, Frank, you need to get that ball more to the right because there clearly is no hold. And, you know, at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, what will happen if I get it right? Will it come back? Because remember that strike in the first frame. That was a light hit. But yeah, he ended up missing left too, so I know now I wasn't the only one. You know, for a second, I thought he had it, but that purple pearl urethane just did not come back. Alright, so what has Gary got on this right lane here? Oh my goodness gracious, what power. So far, I guess we could say we're halfway into the game, and I'm just sparing to stay alive. Meanwhile, he's starting off with three out of 5 so far. And the ball hit the pocket kind of high. I didn't get it right again. And I think it was at this point that I made the decision that maybe, I don't know, I just can't execute. And I think it was just a mental thing with me. Like, I just couldn't get myself to get that ball to the right. I guess I was kind of afraid to get it right, out of fear that it wouldn't come back, or that I would get it too right, and the ball would go to the 3-6. I guess that was my concern, but I couldn't really tell completely. And then of course I couldn't risk it, so I just curved at it. But I'm not the only one who curves at it. So I made the switch, and I decided to move myself more to the right with the zero gravity. I just felt like my chances were better. And indeed they were. Yeah, I honestly just don't know how to explain that. Like, I just can't do the same thing every week. Like, one week I have to play on this part of the lane, and then the next week I can't repeat that, and I have to try to play a different part of the lane. Like, with the IQ Tour, for example, I was lining up on 20, playing in that middle part, and then here I am, and I can't really play with this nuclear cell, so I have to move. Now, for this week, I feel more comfortable playing more to the right. I just don't know why that's my issue. What it is. There goes Gary, missing left again, and this time he leaves a split, and I think that's his second one now. That did not come back like he expected. See what I mean? That's an example of like that's what I was afraid of, like getting the ball to the right and it wouldn't come back. Well, it's nice to know that I'm not the only one who curves at my spares. That right there. Let me tell you something. That happened a lot on this night. Good shots, but 10 pins decide to stay. Like, that was a solid 10. It didn't even move, didn't even wobble, not even a little bit. It just stayed right there, like if it was glued to the floor. Luckily for me, I still know how to pick up my 10 pins. I was feeling nervous about those. So just to add some insult to injury, how about another one? How about another one? Alright, how about this for living on the edge? I thought that was in the gutter, but it made it. It only just made it. So as I usually do with the zero gravity when I'm using it, I line up on 18, and the fact that I got back-to-back 10 pins on both the left and the right, it became apparent to me that there's clearly a little bit more oil down there or something, because Gary's bowling balls were not hooking. Mine, you guys saw what happened. So I realized, okay, maybe I just need to move a little more to the right, because the ball's getting to the pocket. It's hitting it. See, like that. Just like that. See, even he's like, what the heck? And that's when I thought, okay, if my bowling ball, it looks like a good shot, but it's making it to the pocket, but the 10 stays, then I need to, I'm a little bit too much, not too much, but I'm a little bit to the left, and I need to move a little bit to the right. So I made the choice that, although I felt it was a little risky, but I was going to try it because, sometimes you have to take some risks, right? I thought, okay, let's move from 18 to 17 and a half. So we were going right. And we were going to see what was going to happen with that. All right, so here goes Gary. Looked like he got that one kind of to the right, especially because of that hit. Looked like a light pocket hit. I mean, I know to some of you, because of his power, it may not look like it, but it was. All right, so here I went. I made the move. I went to 17 and a half, moving right, and I screwed it up. I missed left because, you know, I don't know, that thought of being more to the right, you know, like tightening up the angle, it messed with my head, and that's why that ended up happening. Even though it was only a half-board move, it really did get to my head. The thought that I was going to the right. But at least I was able to stay clean through, I believe, what is now 9 frames. Alright, I believe we've made it to the 10th frame. And there I go, finally putting in the right shot. And yeah, you see my reaction there, like, are you serious? I'm on 17 and a half and I just got a light hit. How oily is it down there, for Christ's sakes? But at the same time, you could argue that did me falling off balance affect the shot? Definitely could have been. Very likely. Could it have been that the speed? I mean, who knows what it could have been. But I think that the falling off balance definitely could have, you know, contributed to that. But there I went again. And this time the ball decided to take a wicked turn to the left compared to the other one. And that had me like, what the heck? Like, what do I do? I don't really know. I couldn't tell you in that moment what I was thinking when that shot ended up. I mean, I did think to myself, maybe I got it to the right a little early and it ended up taking that turn through the nose. But, yeah, that one right there for Gary, it looked like he got it to the right further down lane, and as a result, that ended up happening. Because, you see, the trick here, at least the way I see it, the trick here is... See that? The ball got like over here, okay? When technically you should get it over here. So just a little further back, like a little bit more back, not up there. Otherwise, you're going to end up with that kind of result. If you get it to the right, way down there, that's going to end up happening. So that's what I believe the trick is. You have to get it to the right about there. So... I don't know. I'm no expert, but that's the way I see it. But anyway, there I went, leaving the Greek church. I did try to go for it. Unfortunately, that ended up happening, but at least I got the higher count. I got 4. 4 is better than 3, right? So I ended up finishing that one off pretty clean through 9 frames. Well, 9.5 because of that strike that I got in the 10th, and that was a 193 for me, while I don't remember what Gary got, but... Yeah, to be totally honest, I don't know what he got. I'm terrible at keeping score because you see what you guys are seeing, you know, with the scoreboard right there at the bottom, I'm not seeing it. I'm looking at the video with nothing. So those edits, I add them in later. So yeah, it's not really easy for me to keep score. And I don't really write other people's scores down. I write my own down. But yeah. My thing says 174, but I don't know. But do I really need to say it? I mean, it's right down there. Okay, so here we go for game number 2 after starting off somewhat low. I mean, 193 or whatever it is that I got. It's still a pretty good game. But I'm sticking with the same tactic, the zero gravity on 17.5. And it became clear a long time ago that these lanes are clearly oily and the window is very small. But I tried my best to look at where I was throwing this ball, like where I laid it down, where it passed over the arrows, and then where it got down there. And it was tricky, but I did my best. It was all I could do. I tried not to overwhelm myself with a bunch of information. I tried to keep it as simple as I possibly could. All right, so here went Gary on the left lane, and he made a ball change. He went off of that, I think it's called the Defender, and he made the switch to the Ghost, the Black Widow Ghost Pearl, and totally slapped those pins out of there and gave him a messenger as well, a really nice one. So we start off with strikes. All right, second frame now. Gary goes first on this right. Again, you see, very, very light hit. Ball didn't really want to hook it. You could tell based on his reaction, like, wow. Like, that's just crazy. And there I went, but the ball was left all the way through, and I ended up with the 3-6-10. I was afraid of this happening, and it happened. Chopped. Left the 3, got the 6 and the 10, but that's an open. All right, here we go on the third frame. And another ball change. Got off of that Ghost Pro because he thought it wasn't hooking. And almost left the goalpost. But luckily only just a 7 to deal with. Alright, so here's a funny little moment. One of my teammates told me that she lost a nail. Not like her actual nail, but you know how ladies wear fake nails? She told me that she lost one, and we found it. Right there. On the second dot from the left side, we found it. And not that it was going to do anything, not that it was going to affect us, but, you know, she... I don't know, like, I guess... yeah, again, I didn't care. We could keep it there for all I gave a crap, but yeah, we felt they just wanted us to go and get it, so Gary picked it up. But the funny thing was, my teammate who lost her nail, she ended up losing a second one further down, like a couple frames later. Unbelievable. Like, I think that should be a rule. No fake nails when you're bowling, because that could be dangerous. I mean, and I've heard that, you know, you have for ladies who wear fake nails, they have to be careful because, you know, losing, if your nail, a fake nail falls off, you could, like, you know, lose your real nail because those things are, like, really glued on there. I don't know, but yeah, that was a funny little moment there. But anyway, moving into the 4th frame now, as I completely ignored that, what I believe was a strike in the 4th that I got. Really nice one. And here I go in the 4th. On the left. Nice. Only just got the hold. You saw that was kind of a slightly high hit. So, yeah, the window was very, very small on these lands. And I don't know that you guys can hear it, but Jesus, the rain is pouring. And it sounds like it's a hailstorm out there, but I highly doubt it. I think it's just that the rain is just picking up, and it's scaring me. I hope that the power doesn't go out on me as I'm trying to do this. That would be awkward. But there goes Gary on the right. And again, his ball doesn't come back, and you see his reaction's like, come on, why won't these things come back? And now he has a split to deal with. A left-hander's baby split. But with the amount of experience that he has, he should be able to get this no problem, right? Of course. I mean, he did it the hard way. Doesn't matter how, matters how many. Okay, so here we are in the 5th frame on the right lane, and it was after this shot that I realized I needed to make another change. Not a ball change, but a move. So yeah, split, and after that I thought, okay, I'm getting this ball where I need to. I know that for a fact. But I know I can't get this ball any more to the right. And I thought, okay, well, clearly I need to go back to the left. So I thought maybe it's better to get back on 18 and see what happens, because clearly I don't have any hold. I can't get this ball any more to the right without, you know, something bad happening, and then I don't want to see this happen again. And yes, again, you know me, I always try to go for it. I always try to go with that nothing to lose type of mindset. And yeah, it may cost me the count, but I do it anyway. I'm hardcore like that. Walks away from it because he knows he's not picking it up. Why bother looking? Alright, so we're now on frame 6, and I am doing an absolutely terrible job of keeping track of where I'm at. But I'm doing my best. It's hard when you have so much that you got to pay attention to, but there we go. Gary leaves a 10 pin. Ball looked like it did come back, but not with that convincing type of hit that you want. There I went. On 18 on the left as well. And that, you know, I'm like, I just don't get it, you know? I get it where I want it to, and I don't get the kind of hit that I'm looking for. I get it left, there's no hold. I get it to the right, I know it's barely going to make it back. I tell you, the window was very, very small. Not just for me, but for him too. Alright, I believe we're on frame 7 now, and Gary has gone for a ball change. He has decided to start throwing the purple pearl urethane because nothing is working. And I 100% agree with that decision because, well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's usually when I start picking up urethane. When all else fails, pick up your urethane ball. And if that doesn't work, then the last resort is the spare ball. Nice pickup of the 10 pin as he puts up his hand like that, because as you can see on lane 4 there, we got a 5 pin. And let me tell you something funny. Like 8 or 9 people had their hand up. And unfortunately the pressure got to this guy. And, well, his 49er spare ball did not help him at all. So now he owes a lot of people a lot of drinks. So there I go, falling off balance. And I just don't know how to explain that other than the shot was terrible, especially because I fell off. And that definitely affected what happened. So you know me, I always try to go for it. Very unnecessary, but you know, it is what it is. But I knew I didn't get it, turned around on it, no point. Just walk away. All right, here we are on the 8th after that split, and I decided all else has failed, at least for me. I wasn't going to risk picking up the IQ Tour or the Dart Code because of how horrible things are down lane, so I made the decision to go to Urethane as well, especially not just because he was using his, but because, yeah, nothing was working for me either. At least that's how I felt it was. But there he goes with the Purple Pearl, and bam! You see that? That's the hit that I want to get. That's the hit that I know he wants to get. So looks like it's now officially turning into a urethane battle. And here I was on 15 and the ball didn't get back, so I thought, okay, either I'm too far to the left or I just let it go wrong. And when I waited for the ball to get back in through the ball return, I saw the that one line of oil around the ball, and I saw that I did let it go correctly. So clearly I was too much to the left. So, which is strange because that's usually where I stand when I'm using that pitch black. I line up on 15, but for this one, it was way too oily down there. See, look at the way he has to play it. Up the boards and let the thing just do its work. Okay, so after what happened on that left lane, I still decided to go on 15 on this right lane because I believe that whatever happened on this left lane wouldn't happen on this right lane. So I tried it out. And I saw that and I thought, okay, so clearly the left and the right are doing the same thing, so I need to move more to the right. I thought that this would work because obviously I don't have the high speed, so this ball would obviously have that amount of time to get back. But nope, 15 was not the answer. And unfortunately, I'm left with another open, and my score continues to plummet. Alright, so now here we are. I think we've made it to the 10th frame, and because my score was totally gone, it was dead in the water, I decided to use this 10th frame as a sacrifice, or as a way to test the waters. So I moved to 14, tried it out, and clearly, as you can see, it's still, I mean, the shot wasn't great, but even from that bad shot, I could still tell I was just too much to the left with this ball, so I needed to make a little bit bigger of a jump to the right. So I picked up my zero gravity, played it safe, curved at my spare, so I have another shot at this left lane to test, so I don't end up having to sacrifice frames in the third game. And yeah, for this shot right here, I made the decision that I was going to try 12. Now, I remember before, when I first started picking up the urethane ball, like a few weeks ago, I was on board 10. And that was when my release was really kind of incorrect. And yeah, there goes Gary. Leaves a split, unfortunately. But yeah, usually at that time when I was throwing that urethane ball weeks ago, my release was incorrect and I was throwing it lined up on the 10 board. But I felt like that wasn't the answer, so I tried 12. And it was perfect. And I thought, yes, I found something. I'm good to go for this third game. When you leave this kind of split, you just got to give it all you got. Look at that. Whales on it. Gets a bounce, but not the kind of bounce he was hoping for. Okay, so we finished off game 2 with a very mediocre 154. So Gary beat me on that one, but it's not, the way I'm looking at it is it's not best out of 3. It's total series, the way I'm looking at it. So, but anyway, I had my plan going into game 3 after testing out what I needed to test out in frame number 10 of game 2. Lined up on 12. I let that one go pretty badly. Luckily the 10 got out and we started off with the strike. And then Gary's tactic also remained unchanged. Purple pearl urethane down the lane at high speeds, and unfortunately he starts off with a big 4. And how about this? Totally wails on it again. I wish I had that kind of power, but I don't. Okay, so here we go on frame number 2, and it looks like he adjusted himself a little. Looks like he moved a little more to the left. Look at that. He's not going like more direct to the pocket. It looks like he's got like, you know, it looks like he's doing what I'm doing. All right, so here we are on the right. Plan remains unchanged. That one looks real nice. Not a convincing hit, but still 2 in a row. I want to say good shot, but that was a little more left than my previous shot. Wasn't necessarily the right one I was looking for. Oh man, that is just insane, isn't it? How did that 10 not fall over? Man, that's just insane high speed. I'm telling you. That was a nice one, and I think we're now on 4 in a row, so I've clearly got this thing figured out. Oh my god, that hurts right here. That one's like a shot in the heart when the hit is so good, but not all the pins want to fall. And he misses it too. My goodness. So the big question for me is, how much longer can I keep the string going? Oh, off balance. That shot is bad. And it looks like that string is gone. Alright, so right here I had like I don't know, like I was just lost. Like, you see that slight adjustment? I was just lost. I don't know what happened to me. I wasn't standing in the right spot right here when I took the spare. And then I just went for it. I don't know why. Like, I adjusted thinking, no wait, I'm in the wrong spot. And as it turns out, when I took that shot, I was standing in the wrong spot. So wherever I was in the first place, that was the correct spot. I just basically had a stupid moment. So I believe now we're in the 6th frame. There we go. That's what he was looking for. So how do I recover after that horrible open? That I can't believe I threw that one away, but at least I answered back with the strike. Nothing's more annoying than that, you know, when you miss an easy spare. I mean, that'll cost you so much. That's left. And that's a split. Once again, you know me, always trying to go for it. And that's why you have to be careful when you're going for it, because you could lose the count. And then it'll cost you later. Alright, 8th frame. We're getting very close to the end here. And for me, this was the worst possible time to be messing around, because I think now Gary's starting to pick up a string, and I'm falling behind. Alright, we're getting close to the end here, guys. It's getting interesting. Down on one knee. At this point, I couldn't tell you whether he thought it was a close call or whether he knew it was going to strike. He probably knew it was going to strike. He knew it before it even got halfway. So the question is, how do I respond? Oh, 10 pin. Ouchie! Now the question is, do I let it get to me? Of course not. Walk away from it. Why do I need to look at that? I know what I'm doing. Okay, so if I'm correct, I believe we're on the ninth frame now. Hopped up on it, stuck, but I got it. And what do we have for a response? Looks good. Oh man, he needed that one. Based on that reaction, I feel it was a close call. He tried to put on the skinny jeans, and luckily they fit. And now here he goes into the 10th. Oh, 10th. Oh my goodness. And you know what the crazy thing is? This is what you didn't see. He actually like re-racked like 2 or 3 times because he noticed that the head pin was a little bit off. Even after re-racking so many times, 10 pins still decided to stay there. All right, last shot of the night for Gary on the left. I think he can go for 214 at this point. Light leaves the 2-8 and finishes with a 212. All right, so this is where it gets interesting. So if I wanted to win this, not that it's really a battle, because again, I didn't tell him that we're battling one-on-one or anything like that, but we're just pretending that it is. But if I wanted to win this one, I need 2 strikes and 5. Nice. Oh yeah, very nice. Shot number 2. How's my nerve? A little bit off balance. 2 for 2. We got the hard part done. And you know, if I'm not mistaken, not only did I need that to top his game 3 score, but I think we needed that to get the win for the team too. Can I close it out? Hold it, hold it. Yeah! Ham bone to close it out, and I got 218. So in the end, if we're talking about like series, he beat me by like 10 pins. I think he got 575 while I got like 565. So yeah, he got the better of me on this one. And but good game to him. Seriously, this dude, man, I love watching him bowl. He's incredible. And anyway, I think if you guys want to know the results, we tied 2-2 because they got the pin count on us and they took game 2 while we won game 1 and 3. So yeah, 2-2 is how we ended that one. But if we're talking just me and him, he beat me by the series by like 10 pins. So that kind of sucks. But hopefully we get to battle again because that actually is a lot of fun. You know, when you find somebody who can either match up to you or, you know, like someone who can really give you the challenge. It's always fun. All right, so there's week number 13. Man, it did not play out how I really wanted it to. But, you know, I had no idea that the lanes were going to be this way. That was really tough. And if only, like, I really wish that I would have known that they were going to be this way. Otherwise, I would have just used urethane the entire night. But I didn't know, and I tried, but that's what ended up playing out. So the series total for week 13 is 565, down from last week's series total being 675, and I would have needed easy 612 to raise my average +1, and that would have gotten me the 200 that I have been after since week number 1. And the pin total after week 13 is now 7,753 after 39 games played. That lowers my average down a point from last week. I was so close. I want that 200, and I just blew it like that. I can't believe that. So now I'm going to have to, who knows what I'm going to have to do next week. I haven't done the math, and I'm not going to. But, yeah, my highest series is the 685 from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I can't even remember already. I know that was from, like, week 11, I think. But, yeah, my highest game continues to be that 256 all the way back from week 1. So, yeah, that's how that played out. And then for week 14, I believe we're going to be on 3 and 4. So we're just going to be moving a pair to the left. And I don't know how those are going to play, but one thing's for sure is I'm always going to have that urethane ball in the bag because clearly it bails me out when all else fails. So anyway, again, my apologies because I felt like I was really hyping this one up to be some kind of crazy epic battle, and it ended up being all-out struggle. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not in control of that. It is what it is. And luckily, I know for a fact that this isn't going to be the last ever battle that we have. I know that every team in this league faces off against each other like twice at least. So I really hope that the next time we face off, it'll be much better than this, and hopefully it won't be on what was that, 5 and 6, because clearly I don't know what the heck happened there, but and I really hope that it's not on lanes 1 and 2 either, because I hate that pair, even though I have scored really high on that pair. But anyway, that was week number 13, and now we move on to number 14, and I hope that things get better. But until then, that's it, and I'm Frank the Tank, and I will see you guys next week.